All right, we got some breaking news coming out of the NFL. The Eagles have ruled out quarterback Jalen Hurts for Sunday's game against the Cowboys. Hurts remains in concussion protocol, missed practice all week. This leaves Kenny Pickett as the starting quarterback for Philadelphia on Sunday. He was just upgraded to a full participant in practice yesterday thanks to a rib injury. The Eagles, well, they can clinch the NFC East with a win. And for more on Jalen Hurts out, Kenny Pickett in with the Eagles, we say hello to Tyler Sullivan from CBS Sports. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts here. 2 games left in the regular season. Eagles, one of the top teams in the NFC right now. What do you make of Hurts not being able to post in practice all week and now being kept out for this weekend?
Yeah, it's a tough blow for Philadelphia because as much as we're talking about a win-and-in type of scenario, there's also an outside chance at the #1 seed and all of those things that could permeate off of this game. So not having your franchise quarterback at this critical time in the season, of course, hurts. But overall, this is the smart move for Philadelphia because as much as you want to say finish out the year strong, try to get a couple of wins, put yourself in the best position possible seeding-wise, you still need to have Jalen Hurts in the postseason to be successful and go as far as they hope that they can. And so when you're dealing with something like head injuries, of course, that can really expand in a negative way rather quickly. And especially for someone that has the playing style as Jalen Hurts does, we're talking 14 rushing touchdowns on the season. We, of course, know the tush push, the Philly, the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. That's a very physical aspect to his game, right? And so when you're putting your quarterback into those type of situations, you want him to be fully healthy. You're not going to go Jalen Hurts, half Jalen Hurts in a game if you're going to start him, if you're Nick Sirianni. So it's a critical blow for them now, but I think it's going to help them later to have him be fully healthy down the line.
Hurts, of course, went out early in that game against the Commanders, which turned into a loss. Although Kenny Pickett came in, that team was in the game, had a chance to win the game. In fact, the Eagles, if not for a drop pass late. Kenny Pickett, how much confidence should Eagles fans have in him running this offense right now against the Cowboys this weekend?
I definitely think that you should have some confidence. Again, this is a Dallas Cowboys team that's not in the postseason. They're starting Cooper Rush. They don't have CeeDee Lamb. It's not like you're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills or the Detroit Lions or anything like that in terms of a juggernaut in each respective conference. This is a team that, yes, division rival. They're going to play this thing tough. They know that they want to play spoiler in this game. There's obviously going to be some motivations, but they're clearly not going at full strength. And now neither is Philadelphia, so things kind of even out a little bit. Fortunately for them, the Philadelphia Eagles, they still have some skill position players readily available. It looks like A.J. Brown's going to play after he appeared on the injury report for a minute this week. You have Saquon Barkley, who I know we'll talk about, obviously Devontae Smith. There are pieces in place for Kenny Pickett, who is above 500 as a starter, let's not forget, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if he could come in, win this game, or possibly even win next week against the New York Giants, well, then you're sitting there already clinched in a playoff spot.
And you mentioned Saquon Barkley. Let's talk about him. He's got 2 games to get about 270 yards on the ground to break Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season rushing record. He needs to average about 134. How does this actually affect the way the Eagles might lean on Saquon these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, if there's anybody that's going to be punching air at the word of this news of Jalen Hurts, it's Eric Dickerson. He was making news today that he doesn't want Saquon Barkley to break that record, but he might. This certainly helps that situation because, of course, if you don't have Jalen Hurts and you have Kenny Pickett, you're going to want to put the ball in the hands of your best players, and one of them is Saquon Barkley, and he has a very advantageous matchup, not just in this game, but over the next couple of weeks here as they round out the regular season. The Dallas Cowboys rank in the bottom 5 in the NFL in rushing yards allowed. Same thing, even more so with the New York Giants. And so this is setting the stage here for even more Saquon Barkley. Now, does he end up getting the record? Who knows? We have to see how this game ultimately unfolds, because if the Philadelphia Eagles are able to take care of business, beat the Philadelphia Eagles, well, then you're not going to trot Saquon Barkley out there to try to get a meaningless record. You're aiming for something a lot higher than a regular season, single season record in the rushing categories there. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play him down the stretch here, but ultimately you have a player who has been your offensive MVP, the offensive MVP of the entire season so far, and he has an advantageous matchup, and you have a backup quarterback. This screams a smash start for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, don't tell Eric Dickerson that's a meaningless record. I'm just saying. Tyler Sullivan from CBS Sports talking Jalen Hurts out with a concussion for this weekend against the Dallas Cowboys. Tyler, thank you so much. The Eagles, Cowboys this weekend, and they finish up hosting the New York Giants. A win in one of those two games clinches the NFC East, and as Tyler mentioned, still an outside chance. With a win in both of these games and a little bit of help, the Eagles could still get the #1 seed and home field advantage in the NFC.